Hi friends, I'm so glad that you decided to tune in with me again. This is just a little bit of a supplement to the Drawing with Picasso and Portraits lesson that I've posted. It's a good idea if you want to print out that PDF of examples, then you can put it next to you while you doodle and draw a little bit. I just thought it might be fun to show you today that if you draw several sketches on your paper, the next step might be to get a Sharpie and outline or trace over your pencil drawings in the very same way we do in class, and then go ahead and erase them just like I've done so you have nice, clean, crisp black lines. And then I just wanted to show you some ideas that I had to finish out your sketches, just to maybe to make them a little more interesting or add a little bit of color or not, depending on what supplies you have available at home. So I wanted to show you, I have 6 sketches here. I usually layer another piece of paper underneath or a magazine of some kind underneath so that when you're working most specifically with paint or Sharpie, it's not bleeding through onto your tabletop surface. So one idea that I came across that I thought was a good one was to cut out a couple of geometric looking shapes, or you could cut out organic shapes too if you prefer, out of tissue paper. If you have any leftover from wrapping gifts and so on, that would be a good thing that you could use. You could do 2 or more, whatever you think looks good, and then use a glue stick. That's what I used to attach mine today. You could use watered down glue, which is what we would do in class, but a glue stick is probably more easily acceptable or accessible today. So then you would just glue it down, and then you want to go back over the parts that you've covered with your tissue paper. You'll be able to see through enough so that you can retrace them in Sharpie so that they come through and are nice and bright again. I love how this turned out. Another idea I had was that you could use some markers or crayons or colored pencils, and instead of coloring in completely, you could fill in different spaces with pattern work. So that could turn out interesting, and you don't feel like you have to color in every single space. I left this one just plain so you could see how they looked before I added any details. This is the same idea as this one, but instead I just kept it black and white with Sharpie, so there's another option. Or I could do this and then go in and add color after I'm finished with that step. So that could be considered finished, or that could be considered partially finished. My favorite one is I added a little bit of watercolor to this guy, and I just stuck with kind of a monochromatic color scheme and added just a little bit of color. So he's still mostly black and white. And then this last one I used colored pencils. 3rd graders especially, or 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders, you've been taught how to blend with colored pencils, so that might be a really fun way for you to finish some of your sketches or designs. So if you wanted to do it kind of in a sketchbook page, kind of like this, make sure you put the date at the top so you can always remember when you created it. Or you could end up doing these like one at a time on one big piece of paper and make individual masterpieces or artworks if you wanted to. So I just wanted to extend the lesson a little bit so that you could see some different ways to finish it. I'm sure you have your own ideas too. Sometimes students' ideas are better than my own ideas. So as always, I would love it if you wanted to share with me some of your completed work or even in progress work as it pertains to this or anything else. Please feel free to email me, and then I will find a way to create a gallery so that you all can view what everybody's making. Thanks so much for tuning in.